Hey mangies, and welcome to another podcast video. I saw this quote on TikTok once, and it's the realest thing ever. The biggest downfall of a successful, overachieving, just busy woman is having a man. That does kind of perpetuate the whole idea of workaholic, busy corporate woman, kind of not having time for a relationship, a family, whatnot. But I'm just saying, sometimes it's good to not have time for that stuff because if you really look at it, and I am someone, I'll say here, I am someone that at the moment I do like the idea of having a family and getting married, but it would have to be to someone so specific because at the end of the day, I'm not about to be a busy working wife. I am a little bit ambitious. I will say I'm an ambitious person, and I don't know. For a minute there in high school, I thought I wanted to be like one of those trad wives where it's like I'll work and then, the husband can be the breadwinner and I'll just stay at home with the kids. But low key, I think I would go a little bit insane. I would love to be a busy person. But I mean, there's also all these hobbies, and I feel like I could keep myself busy with hobbies, but I don't know. I like the idea of having a career. So that's just maybe I don't know what I want. And that's okay. That's okay because we are figuring it out day by day. But the point is, you have to lead your life with what you want right now and some sort of idea of what you want in the future, okay? You don't have to have everything perfectly planned out. If you do, congrats on you. Like, you know what you want, you know what you're doing, and you just gotta follow the step-by-step plan. Me, I'm someone who, I love the journey. Do I fully know what my life's gonna look like in 10 years? I have a lot of ideas. Like, that fig tree where it's like, we got a lot of branches around here of what I want my life to look like in 10 years, but I'm okay with whichever, honestly. As of right now, I'm on that career lifeline pathway. We are going to have to be that breadwinner. And so with that, I mean, actually, generally, I don't like the idea of depending on someone. I think being codependent or even depending on anyone for anything, whether it's emotional support, financial support, whatever, is a bad idea. You should 100% be fully content and fully capable of living life on your own because the one certainty in life is that there is always going to be change. There is no certainty. Your person could die and then they didn't leave you anything. And then what are you going to do? And unfortunately, that actually is like a lot of the cases for some people. I've seen, and obviously, like, you can't base like this, what I'm saying, this whole idea on like the one couple of videos and interviews I've seen, but I do see a lot of interviews of homeless people where they're asking, how did you get in this position? What led you to be at this point in your life? And it'll be like, oh, my husband, he was a breadwinner, and then I wasn't working, and then I lost my house, and it's just a whole thing. So my biggest thing in life and biggest suggestion for anyone is to not be dependent on anyone. Regardless of what that person wants you to do, they aren't going to be here if you're by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, anyone can just up and leave. And I think I'm a realist in that sense because anything can happen. Let's say hypothetically, your man cheats on you. What are you going to do? Just stay with him for the kids and stay with him because he's supporting you financially? I don't know. I don't think I could live my life that way. I don't want to live my life that way. I know Share 7 and those people are like, all men are going to cheat on you, so pick the richest one. I'm not going to be with a man who cheats on me. And I'm going to be that person where I want that freedom and liberty to do what I want based off of my needs and wants in that moment. So with that little tangent, my biggest thing is I low-key don't trust people unless proven to be trusted. And I think that's a good mindset to have, not going to lie, because why would I just randomly trust you if you haven't given me any material to be like, yeah, I'm going to trust that person? And maybe I'm like overgeneralizing and over expanding what the topic of the day is, but I think it flows in well. So with that, the person I would trust the least in life is a talking stage. I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe not the very least, but if I'm inviting someone into my orbit and they're coming in and they're being a little bit consistent, okay, sure, I'm not going to trust you. You could, like, realistically, relationships often last, what, well, let's say long-term relationships, like someone who's actually dating to marry or whatnot, that's gonna last maybe 1 to 5 years, give or take. I've actually never been in a relationship, guys. Well, only talking stages, but all the more reason. I'm someone, I wouldn't even say I date to marry. I mean, I did before. Now we've kind of changed our outlook and lens and living life for the experiences because life is short. But I do date with intention and do talk to people with intention. If I don't see you as a future father, I see you as someone who's irresponsible, someone who can't manage your money well, I don't think this is going to work out where I'm in my 20s. Like, I kind of want to start building a foundation with someone to potentially get married whenever we get married. I guess that kind of means I am dating to marry, but I don't know. I'm dating for the long term, for the future, in a sense.
Truthfully, I was on a little bit of a side tangent there, and I don't remember where that was going. But to wrap up the idea, I like to be independent. And with that independency comes independency not only financially, but also emotionally. And one thing I suck at doing for whatever reason, or you know what, we've actually been improving on it, so I'm not gonna say I suck at doing it, but one thing I really have had to learn with talking stages is to not trust these bitches. Oh my goodness. Talking stages are actually like the they're nightmare fuel. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, what is this? Are we not mature? Are we not grown? If you want to date me, just date me. If it were up to me, I wouldn't even really be in a talking stage for long. I would only be in a talking. Actually, guys, I'm gonna contradict myself a lot in this episode, and that's okay because it's my YouTube channel. And you know what I think? I think life isn't black and white. Life is full of grays and hues of white and black. Okay? Many things can be true in certain situations, but different in others. Okay? I'm not even jealous like that, but what the hell if I'm talking to you and I start developing feelings for you? Why would I want you to talk to other people? Why would I want to talk to other people? And that's been really difficult for me because I end up doing like being way too loyal to talking stages, and they end up like deciding after the 3 month mark, either them or me, I'll be honest, it's from both parties, that this ain't really all that we want. And that's okay. I think normally a talking stage should be 3 months long. Editing right now, but let it be known, guys, that I use the terms talking stage and dating interchangeably. To me, if we're going on dates, but we're not officially committed to each other and we're not exclusive, that is still a talking stage to me, even though I understand that it is in terms like actually dating because you're going out and you're not just like texting and talking to see the vibe. But I kind of see those two the same because if we're texting, we're seeing the vibe, and then if we're texting, we're eventually going to see each other. So, yeah, just a little note there. Max, max, okay? Minimum a month, max 3 months. Because, yeah, I really will say that I feel like people get comfortable after the 3rd month mark and then, like, the dynamic shifts a little bit. But then also, I feel like you know your feelings for someone after a month of seeing them and talking to them. Like, if I know I like you and you know you like me, why would we talk to other people? Why do you need to talk to other people? It's gross. And truthfully, if someone needs more than 3 months to decide whether they want to date you or not, that gives me the ick. Like, what are you doing here? Why do you need more than 3 months? Why do you need to talk to other people? Like, it just kind of gives me the vibe, and it's always giving me the vibe that this talking stage is just a placeholder emotionally until you find someone that you actually would want to be in a relationship with. And men in talking stages are diabolical. Diabolical. Because they will introduce you to their friends, give you this false idea of security, and then with zero empathy, just be like, yo, I'm not feeling this. And you know what? They low key have every right to. Is it fucked up? Yes. But, anyone can stop a thing whenever they want. And that's why I hate situationships and talking stages. Oh my gosh, because it's like, I thought this was a pre-trial and we were already going into it. Someone always gets hurt in situationships and talking stages, and like that's bound to happen. The only solution I personally have is to have a roster. Because what else? You can only control, and this is something I lead in with life. You can't control life. You can't control what happens in life. You can't control how other people behave or how they feel about you or what they do to you. The only thing you can control is you, truly. You can only control the way you react, the way you move about life, the way you do stuff. Okay, I was a lover girl. I was a diehard lover girl. Until these multiple situationships and talking stages low-key started my villain arc, and I don't like saying that because someone I know said that, and she's like, I'm on my villain arc, and then she just like actually started acting so weird and like low-key. I'm just gonna spill her tea. Loki became a Smex fiend and participated in like cheating stuff, and so we didn't fuck with us. Obviously, we're not friends with her anymore. But that's why I don't like saying like villain arc and whatever. But you do have to move around in life a certain way, because I did move around in relationships and talking stages in a very like romantic lens, hopeless romantic, and I still am. I feel like when I feel that someone is like giving me 110% of that same mirrored energy of romanticism and passion, that's when I wouldn't have to do what I'm about to tell you. But the only way to not get hurt is to have a roster and be detached. I said it, and I know everyone says it too online, but I truly mean this because I was like diehard against having rosters because I just like it's so much energy to put into multiple people and have these multiple conversations. And as a Cancer sun, I only have that kind of energy for people I'm like close with. I like keeping my circle small, and to my outer circle people, I'll talk to you when I see you. I have a decently large social battery, but with people who are in my outer circle, it gets drained fast. Inner circle, I can like, whatever, whatever. But you got to work your way into the inner circle. So, with that being said, it's been hard for me to ever have a roster. I would literally, let me think about this. I have actually never in my life seriously been talking to a man while also having like side people I'm talking to. Like once I catch feelings, which is okay pretty fast. I just stop talking to everyone else and I go tunnel vision because I'm like, if this is our end game and this is someone I'm going to be in a relationship with, you know how strange it would be to just drop people once you get into a relationship and like have to explain like, yo, I'm locking in with this person, can't talk to you anymore. Like, oh, I just never have liked the idea of that. But these bitches be doing it left and right. It's a eat or be eaten world. So, I've experienced that so much where like I'll be talking to a guy and it won't even be that serious at this kind of point, but I'm kind of interested. I haven't necessarily caught feelings yet, but I'm interested in like going on dates and seeing them. And then 3 weeks go by and they just ghost. And then I see that they have a relationship on Instagram. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But they don't even have the decency, or they didn't, to communicate that. But we are going to be the bigger person in this villain arc. Not villain arc, let's be for real. Let's stop calling it that. Let's call it our baddie arc. I don't care. Let's call it our man mindset baddie arc, okay? Because why would you put in so much effort into these people and they're just gonna, like, as a lover girl, they're just gonna dog on you for that? Like, let's be real. So, as a lover girl, you have to protect your heart because if you don't, then you'll become that one shorty I was talking about. This is a long intro, but we are talking today about how to stay detached and building a roster. Because again, that's the only thing you can do. If you are in a situation where someone is showing you inconsistencies, they haven't been direct after y'all have been dating for a little while, they haven't been direct on where this is going, and they're just kind of like open to anything, you have to protect your little heart in that sense. Because if you're a lover girl, you're low key looking for something serious, you're looking for something romantic, and someone who's open to anything, it's in the name. They could be open to talking to multiple women at a time. They could be open to talking to you for a couple months and then be done with it. So, let's begin, guys, because today I am showing you how to build a roster, stay detached, and honestly, being truthful, I'm learning with y'all. But what better experience to have together? So, I'll be honest. I'll be so honest. I failed at this first rule, okay? First rule of staying detached is you have to mirror energies. If someone's showing you consistencies on texting, you can show that back. But just remember, texting doesn't mean anything. And if you're someone who gets attached through text easily, communicate that early on and be like, hey, I don't think we should text earlier that much, da 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 da. I will say I failed at that. But I also feel like it's different if you don't see each other that often. Like, you do kind of have to make up for it on text. I don't know, it's a complicated situation with texting. I'm not gonna lie to you. But if you start getting good morning and good night texts, that's how they reel you in. That is how they reel you in into thinking this is a connection, like y'all are getting deeper. Don't fall for the good night and good morning text. Just be reminded that it is just a text. What effort does that take? It takes zero effort. They could be texting 5 hoes good morning and good night. So that is not a thing. Do not let yourself be convinced that a good morning and good night text is something. That is bare minimum. If someone wants to get to know you and y'all are chit-chatting every couple of days, every day, I expect you to say good night and good morning. If you don't, you can leave. And you know what? This is like me with my high standards, but this is the mindset of a baddie, a lover girl baddie, okay? Let's say you've already been texting, you're already a little bit attached, and you've already fallen for the little delusional idea of the good morning and good night texts meaning something. Then we move on to phase two. If you're already attached, if you're a girly that stays being attached like me, phase two is detachment, full detachment. You can like someone, but not be attached to the idea of them consistently being in your life. You have to think, and although it's a little bit morbid, I guess, this person could leave at any moment. Don't let that affect the way you treat them. Don't let that really change your mindset on that person because it's not something that has necessarily happened. But it is something you do have to have in the back of your mind. This person could leave tomorrow and I should be fine with it. I should be able to continue on my life. It's okay to feel your feelings. You're obviously going to be maybe a bit upset for a couple days. But if this person were to leave tomorrow, my life is going to continue on. It's going to have to continue on. So you have to be okay with the idea of that already. It is obviously upsetting, but that's what gets you into the baddie mindset. Because once you start thinking like that, you start thinking, how much energy is this person investing in me? How much money is this person investing in me? How much am I reciprocating with that? If you're someone who is in, let's say, you have a really busy schedule, you've got work, you've got school, lots of studying to do, you're working all these couple, maybe like 4 days a week, and then you study on your off days, and after you get back from work, you have to think, this is a lot of time I'm investing into myself, and that's good. Always be investing into yourself. But then when a man comes into the picture, naturally, personally, me at least, I want to start investing time in them because I want to reciprocate energy. And so in the past, I would grind a lot, stay up late, finish all my schoolwork just to go see them. And I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, but you do have to question. The moment to question is actually when you realize that you are maybe like sidetracking your life and making him the center of it, where you're working around his schedule. Oh, he's free this time, so I really want to see him, so I'm going to do all this just to see him that day. No, no, that's where you're giving pursuing energy. You're chasing him. He should be working around your schedule. Okay? If you're busy, you have a busy life, keep that busy life. He isn't your man yet. You don't have a ring on your finger. If you guys date for a month and then break up later and then you have this huge exam, you just wasted all that time investing into him. So, me personally, as a lover girl, the way I do this is I will invest as much as you invest into me. I will reciprocate the energy, but the second you give me an inch of doubt, you give me some sort of inconsistency, some icky thing of that sort, you're not that serious about me.
Hey guys, this is me mid-editing, and I just have to say, I'm currently still going through this situation. Crazy enough, when I recorded this like maybe 3 weeks ago. But I had a realization this weekend that I just had to include in here. And one of the best things to stay detached is having a good, honestly, just people who actually care about you around you and know who the fuck you are. Not that, I mean, I'll be honest, like, you should know who the fuck you are, but sometimes divas get down and divas get down bad. So you need someone or people around you to remind you who the fuck you are. Remind you this is how you're supposed to be treated. So we're gonna treat you type of thing. And just like have a good song, a good motto. For me, it's Turn My Swag On by Soulja Boy. And that shit just gets me back in my vibe. I'm like, hey, hot up at the pants. Turn my swag on. Take a look in the mirror. Say what's up. Yeah, get money. And that's just my song. So another good pointer about staying detached is genuinely not giving a fuck. Genuinely go live your life. And I feel like I already said it before, but you have some good moments where you and your friends can just go back. And I mean, when you're dating someone, you shouldn't necessarily like pause your life, like I said before, and ignore your friendships, your other relationships, and whatnot. But just go back as if he wasn't there. Go back to the moments when before he was introduced into your life, working out, doing, well, for me, it'd be working out, doing yoga, meditating, journaling, doing my crafts, hanging out with my friends like that, not giving a fuck to tell anyone where I'm at because you're not even my man. You're not even my man. So just have a night or however many nights you need to yourself to remind you of life before him and doing stuff that you used to before him.
Because my future husband, my future boyfriend would be serious about me. He wouldn't want to risk losing me. He wouldn't want to risk making me confused. So you're giving not that serious. Because someone who's actually interested in you isn't going to want you to be confused. Repeat it with me. Someone who's actually interested in me isn't going to want me confused. Because you know where confusion leads? Confusion leads to hurt emotions. If you don't have clarity on a situation, you're not clear if y'all are exclusive, you're not clear where this is going, one of you two have expectations, for sure. Or at least, even like a lack of expectations could be hurtful. Point is, if you're confused, you're not on the same page. That's just it. So, you know what I think in confusion, especially this day and age? I am in my 20s. People I'm dating are in their 20s, mid 20s. We are grown. And if you're not giving me clarity, you're purposely giving me confusion. And if you don't know how to use your words, I don't think that's someone I want to be in a relationship with, because how are we going to communicate? You're already showing me faulty, I guess, skill issues in a relationship. So that's where we move on to phase 3. I don't know if we've been saying phases actually, but phase 1 was the texting, phase 2 was the detachment. Phase 3, you got to build a roster. And you know, weirdly enough, I've been in this situation a lot. And I guess that's just a lesson for me to learn. And I've learned it, and now I'm sharing my lessons with you. In the case of you liking this person a lot, them still leaving you confused after you've made your intentions clear, they know who you are, they know what you expect, and you're still confused, but you really like them, so like you don't want to end it yet. I know, it's hard. You just have to build a roster. You have to be even more okay with him being gone. Because once you have a roster, he leaves, just bump your second one up. And as cold hearted as that sounds, isn't that what they all do? Isn't that what they all do? And honestly, what's the real harm in having a roster? If you keep communication open, you let people know you're dating other people, what's the harm? What's the harm? The key is communication, genuinely, with clear communication. And I think I low-key learned this from Love Island. With clear communication, I mean, obviously you can't completely spare people's feelings. Like, people are going to feel the way that they feel. But with clear communication, you can reduce expectations, which, or like, I guess, false hope, which will reduce hurt feelings, I guess. And who knows, maybe your roster man is going to want to lock it down with you. And if your roster man wants to lock it down with you 2 months in and you're number one, you've been talking to him for 8 months, girl, that's a sign. Girl, what are you doing waiting around 8 months? That's just you're just disrespecting yourself at that point. Because why would you allow this man to string you along for 8 months and still be unsure of you? No, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. Because what's the difference in speaking to each other, talking exclusively, and being in a relationship? There is no difference. Just a label. Just an expectation of responsibilities that that person doesn't want to have. Truly. And if y'all are still talking, you should be talking to other people if they don't want to make it exclusive. Bam. Like, literally done. So, onto the real juice of this video, how to build a roster. I'm convinced to have the perfect roster, you need at least 5 to 6 men. And when you're young and hot, you don't have time to waste. Why let your beauty be wasted? Why let your prime be wasted? Because at the end of the day, they're going to leave when they want to leave. And then what? You spent your whole summer hung up on a guy thinking y'all were going to be a thing, and then you find yourself in December surrounded around couples, and there you are single because you invested completely only in one man. It's like stocks. You gotta invest in a bunch, see which one gives you the most benefit for the time you've been investing. Men just piss me off, honestly. I don't know if it's because I saw the Love Island episode of the recoupling with KC. I don't know, but men have just been pissing me off lately. How are you gonna say one thing and then do another? I have a note in my notes app specific to this. I think the ideal roster, depending on what type of person you are, how big your social battery is, and how much time you have realistically, perfect roster ranges from 4 to 6 people. Your first will be your main one, the one that you actually will want to be in a relationship with, but for whatever reason aren't yet. Your second will be someone you're feeling, but it's a little bit unrealistic, but it could happen, but you don't fully know yet. He's your maybe. Your potentially maybe. I'm gonna add those 2 words in because it's really maybe, maybe. Potentially maybe is a good description. Your third one is your fun and rich one. One that is generous with their money, wants to take you out, wants to go out with you and do fun activities and do things you like to do. And just someone to enjoy time with because, hello, at least you have that. Fourth, someone you really don't actually like, but you find them attractive and you think, I could grow to like you. That's your fourth. Personally, me, I'm good with 4. Fifth and sixth, if you're really out there like that, fifth and sixth can kind of be tied for the same kind of level of investment and who they are. That's just kind of to have more options and variety. Fifth and sixth would be, how do you describe them? See, my fifth and sixth would be people I don't actually even hang out with, just people on my social media that are consistently like engaging with my stuff, telling me how gorgeous I am, and like maybe go on a fun little ice cream date here and there. Like you see maybe once a month. You don't give them too much energy because they're lower tier on the roster list. But for the sake of me and this being my video, we're gonna stick with the 4 for now. Because I don't really think about the fifth and sixth like that. Like, they're not even really on my mind. Even though I actually, you always have those ones, those loyal story repliers and likers. It's nice to have a consistent commenter, little complimenter. Never hurts, never hurts. Especially if they haven't even actually made a move. Even better. You just keep them in love with you. And it's not like you're doing anything, you're just posting yourself looking hot. That's how I would describe the fifth and sixth roster people. If your main is someone, I mean, your main is your main, right? You want to catch feelings, you have maybe already caught feelings for your main. If they haven't locked it down by that certain timeline for you, again, for me, that timeline's within 3 months. Yours could be 4 or 5 months, who knows? But if they haven't locked it down with you, they're not serious. They ain't serious. And that's when they have to get demoted in the roster list. That's when you bump up your fun and rich one, your third roster bit. That is, I mean, I feel like your second one, that maybe, because you just have to have like a fun, unrealistic little roster person, right? That's your possibly maybe. If your possibly maybe is still looking like a possibly maybe, just keep him at number 2 and up your third one. your fun and rich one, demote your main one to third because he doesn't care about you like that. Someone who cares about you would let that be known. Honestly, this video was inspired by my main roster man not locking it down. And who knows, maybe I'm hopeful, but I might be a little bit delusional that my main roster man will ask me to be his girlfriend soon. If my main roster man doesn't clear up intentions in the next couple of weeks, I gotta demote him. And it's sad because I really like him. But hopefully I'll look back at this video and be like, oh my god, now he's my boyfriend. But let's break down that whole idea of that's someone's future wife, that's someone's girlfriend, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't put your life on pause for a maybe. You aren't a maybe, but if someone's treating you like a maybe, why would you treat them like anything else but a maybe as well? Like, ew, I'm actually getting the ick from my own situation. Ew. So, your main isn't acting right. Demote him to number 3. Your number 3 goes back up, and you start going out with number 3 a little bit more. You just keep making excuses with number 3, see him every so often. But once number 1 has been acting up, number 3 gets back up there. You know, he doesn't even have to be rich, let me be for real, but someone who's spending money on you. You should not be spending money on or with your number 3. Because what is this? You're not going to be losing money while, like, no. If he wants to take you out, he should have the money to take you out. If he wants to see you and start dating people, he should have the money to see you and start dating people. I've actually never been a 50-50 girl when it comes to that. Dates and whatnot. If you're someone who wants to start dating, you better have the money for that. Because you know what? I have the money if you want to go 50-50. I'm just never seeing you again. So let's build our roster together. I have my number 1. I really like my number 1. So we really have to demote him to number 3. My number 3 is like someone I'm not that interested in, but I think that's good because it's good to not be super, super interested in your number 3 because they're just your number 3. Your number 2, honestly, probably isn't ever going to go anywhere unless, like, I don't know, the universe is conspiring and helping you out there. But your number 3 should be someone who finds you attractive, is a little bit interested in you, but it's also, you're not that interested in them to actually date them. And it's kind of like a reciprocal energy. Your number 3 really wants to date you, but isn't necessarily in love with you, but treats you like a princess, you know? Let's find a number 4 right now. It's hard because low-key, I'm not gonna lie, your number 4, 5, 6, they're probably gonna get replaced often. They might have self-respect, and I know me personally, I don't be texting my number 4s and 5s and 6s that often. So those are your replaceable ones. I do have a 4, but I really don't like talking to him. So we gotta find someone I actually might enjoy talking to. Actually, all my number 4s gain self-respect. What the hell? We've got to lock in, guys. I think I just found my number 4, but I don't think this number 4 actually likes me. Honestly, I don't think there's a harm in happy birthday your way. Happy birthday. Yeah, that's fine. Happy birthday. Bam, just gained a number 4. I think low-key though, your number 4 should be someone, I don't know if I already said this, someone you're attracted to, but it isn't serious at all. You haven't even gone on dates. You don't go on dates. Almost like a textuationship, but you don't be texting that often. Oh my god, I just got a pit in my stomach. I'm scared. One thing you do have to make sure, and this is the biggest thing when it comes to building your roster, make sure they don't know each other. They will never meet each other. You gotta keep this on the lowest of keys, okay? Your number 1, he could be from wherever, right? He's your number 1. Your number 2, completely different city. Actually, that's a lie. That's a lie. Your number 2, you don't talk to anyone about your number 2 except your best friend. Your very closest best friend. Everyone else, if you already talked about it, let it be known that you don't like them anymore and you're over that person, but they're still your number 2 on the low. Your number 3 has to be completely different city. Okay, not from you. Completely different city from your number 1. Okay. Because if number 3 is taking you out, you don't need anything overlapping there and number 1 finding out and then you ruining your chances with number 1. But also, mind you, number 1, this is all if number 1 hasn't made it exclusive. Only lock in on your roster after the time limit has passed by. Because to maintain self-respect for yourself, No one says you have to cut off your main guy. You just have to detach for now. For example, my limit is 3 months. You haven't locked it down by 3 months. I'm locking in on my roster. Number 3 is getting bumped up. And yeah, that's your fault for fumbling. Why should it take you longer than 3 months to decide on being in a relationship with me? No, just no. That's an ick in itself. Because you know what? I have people from the 6th grade who are still begging for a chance. I easily could give them a chance, but I don't like them for very many reasons. I actually like you, and I'm low-key miss unlinkable. Like, it takes a minute for me to hang out with people. The fact that I'm hanging out with you, you should be acting like this is the prize. I'm not gonna lie. In the courting stages, the girl is the prize. I don't care what anyone says. So if you are courting me and you start acting like I'm an option, what? You know what? I got my options too then. I got my options too. Ew. 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 There's this line in this new Olivia Rodrigo song, and I think it just hits the spot. Let me read it to you. Expectations by Olivia Rodrigo. Listen to it. And the line I'm specifically talking about. Honestly, I feel like this song, Expectations, is perfect for if you're watching this video, go listen to the song. Met him at a party. I think he was on drugs. Probably was. He wasn't smart or funny. Just check your number one and, see if that relates. Convinced myself he had a great apartment and a car his parents bought. Mind you, of course, there's no shame in that, especially in this economy. But have the same expectations for yourself and your friends for your man. I bought my own car. I worked hard as hell and bought myself an old car. Yeah, she ain't nothing like crazy, but I get myself from A to B whenever. The specific lyric I was talking about though. I'm not kissing any boy that is passive. Their indecision is painfully unattractive. I need you to sear that line. Indecision is unattractive into your brain. Because it is. Ew. They have a baddie like you, and they're still not sure what they want? Like you have options like that? Ew. Ew. Just keep rocking your mini dress with a vodka crayon and an open heart, just like Olivia says. I don't think my future husband's at this bar, but in a couple months, a man will be procured, he will be evolved, and I will be adored. Adored, adored, adored. I won't settle for a guy with a fake job. They seem so desperate for loving, but baby, I'm not. Don't be desperate. Don't be desperate. Period. But I think I'm gonna end. If you guys want a part 2, if you have any questions about building a roster, let me know. I'll answer them. The main message, though, be true to yourself. Focus on yourself. Don't let any man veer you off of the path of you locking in on yourself. Period. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. It always helps. And comment if you want to see more videos like this or if you have any other ideas for videos similar to this. And comment if you've ever been in a situationship and how long it's been. What's your longest situation been? I'm curious. So thanks for watching again. Thanks for tuning in to Mango Mandy. Bye.